You're done.
Big man thing, what's bothering you, bro? I'm done with this relationship, man. I'm done, man. I don't want to do this. Oh, she did what? What do you mean she did that? Raw. Serious. Them kind of things there. Why? Get out of here. Yeah, Little Black Book Show. We talk about relationships. Hey guys, deuces. So I'm just here talking about episode 3 of the Little Black Book. What do I have for you today? Alright. Ooh, topic number 3 is called Jailbreaking Relationships. Now I'm not gonna advise you how to break relationships. Neither am I gonna say that you should break your relationship up. No, but I'm gonna give you some key things that happen, or key events which turn a relationship on its head, which break relationships up. This is also going to be something for people who are also in a relationship. You might want to look at potential people that are around in your relationship who are exhibiting these specific traits. Now, I'm talking about jailbreaking relationships. Now, whether you're a good relationship, whether you've got a bad relationship, whether your romantic relationship is rich, poor, whatever, black, blue, yellow, under the sun, under the moon, alright? Your relationship can be tarnished, your relationship can be broken if you don't pay attention. Nobody's relationship is infallible. I'm sorry to tell you that, but I'm sure you already knew that. Let me also say this as well. That whole fantasy about, if a person can be stolen, but, it's because they wanted to. Let me tell you something now. Sometimes people don't want to be stolen, blood, but the inadequacy or the neglect within that relationship has aided them or pushed them towards that goal. Now, yes, the person made a final choice to make that step, but remember, there was a push in it to make that person make that step. So whilst it was their own free will, there was also a push to help them go in that direction, So, we're talking about relationship. I'm going to say something that's going to be real deep. It's about cheating. A lot of women that I've spoken to, and a lot of men that I've spoken to, when I talk about cheating, and those I've come across, and what I've observed, what I've read about in books and stuff like that, and what I've studied small, and what I've come to in my own wisdom, I realise that women are very fiercely loyal. I think we can all agree that. And they're very emotionally hardwired. So if they're going to cheat, then I look at it like this. Follow Adam and Eve in the Bible. Adam and Eve in the Bible, in the beginning, the Bible says in Timothy that it was Adam who was disobedient, but it was Eve who was deceived. Why is it saying that? Well, the whole point is this. With men, they've been given a command, and also they've been given. We've got this certain way of thinking about things, right? So if I'm gonna cheat, right, it ends up being a choice. I didn't have to be pushed there. I can actually just make that choice free willy-nilly. Whether I'm happy in my relationship or not, a lot of men will go and do something mad. Whether they're happy in a relationship or not, because it is in them to do. It is logical thinking rather than emotional attachment. As one person said to me, it's like a train detaching itself from the carriages, blood. That's how he can behave in terms of maybe cheating. Because really and truly, the two don't go hand in hand. Listen, I may love my girl, but I can still cheat on her and feel no way. Because it's not an emotional thing for me. It is actually just an activity which is pleasurable. You understand? So if I'm going to play football, my girl says don't go play football. That's the same way he might look at it as I'm having sex with another girl. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just letting you into the male mind of thinking about certain things. That's not all men. But don't knock it and think that, that's quite a few men, blood. I'm just letting you know, that's quite a few men still. So when we're talking about men cheating on women, blood, it is a disobedient act for the man, because he actively makes that choice, blood. He doesn't get pushed. It doesn't usually take something to make him snap and go over that edge. More time, he's just being a little child about things. I'm going to be honest, that's the way I look at it. And when you look at a woman who cheats, but they've had to be coaxed into that situation. So there's been a few little communications with bad people that shouldn't really be communicating with, who've twisted her mind into thinking that maybe going elsewhere the grass is greener. But the man will just look over and see, well, that grass looks greener, blood, and make a decision to go and cheat, blood. A woman will see over there, raw, grass does look kind of greener, but I'm loyal, I'm happy with my man, I'm happy with my relationship, blood. So the woman, the only way she's going to go to that grass is greener is by being deceived, by being twisted with words over and over and over in situations which contradict her her makeup and how she's been made as a woman to go over to the green side, blood. That's not all women, because some women are just dogs like men, blood, you know what I mean? But men look at it, the grass is greener, and will make a foot for it. Women will look at the grass greener and say, I don't need it, I don't want to be there, I've got a lovely husband, my grass over here is very nice, blood. But then if she makes that movement, blood, more than likely she's been pushed to that point. More than likely she's been pushed to that point. So that's what I'm talking about. That's a video in itself, and I probably spoke about too long about that issue. But let's talk about jailbreaking relationships. Jailbreaking relationships. Okay, so every relationship, if you want it to stay true and you want it to last, right, you got to make sure your relationship is like a flowing river, right? Like a flowing river. And that's the only way you're going to able to prevent jailbreak. And that consists of a whole heap of things. But let me just give you this analogy. Water that stands still in a bottle becomes what? Stagnant, and becomes stale, and mold begins to grow in it. But a water that's flowing brings a freshness back. So like a moving river will pick up rocks but will dump them elsewhere. So you'll have troubles in your relationship, but you'll move them elsewhere. You'll move past it. You will meander some corners, but you'll still navigate it quickly. You know what I'm saying? You don't get held up. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't stay in one place. When you stay in one place, you have a problem. Okay, let me give you an example. Your computer. Every computer now, blood, has an updating virus software, protection virus software. So you're not going to use an anti-Norton 2009 when we're in 2015, because even the viruses have improved. So if you don't improve your relationship, blood, someone will come and be a virus in your relationship and you won't handle, because you're still thinking about 2009. So it's time to upgrade and time to actually move forward with your relationship. It's time to develop your relationship. There should be a growing in your relationship. So you can't be Anton virus 2009 in 2015. It's 6 years away. It's time that's passed, blood. It's time to upgrade and get a better defensive software. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about the fact that, we need to have an understanding about how people jailbreak relationships, blood. Third wheels break relationships, blood. I've spoken about other videos about snakes getting into relationships, but this is also along the similar lines of understanding that people jailbreak relationships, intentionally, not intentionally, but they do jailbreak relationships, and people who were safe are no longer safe, blood. Alright, so to understand jailbreaking, I broke it down like as an offensive and defensive. Your offensive is things that bring a positive influence or positive attribute, and it brings a result of affection or loyalty from your partner. So whatever you're doing, that's an offensive move which will bring an affection, an attraction, and a loyalty from your partner. Alright, so one of them is sex. Let's be real. Relationships nowadays, whether you're generation, whether you're Christian or not, I'm a Christian, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be real, if you're not Christian and you're doing this, but obviously, listen, I'm not trying to break your relationships up, so blood, if you're in that relationship, look, sex is important in your relationship, I understand. So therefore, blood, if you are in that relationship, blood, you're going to have to make it work, blood. So one of the ways of doing that is switching things up in the bedroom, but I'm sure you already know that, blood. It's time to stop doing the mundane and start to try and find out how you two like it. I'm just going to be real, I don't even want to speak about it too long, because it's not really my MO. I'm saved. So, going out again. See, in relationships, we get to a point where we get to a plateau, and then we reach a point where we don't do things anymore. You might go out once in a while, blood. You don't want to dress up and go out nowhere, blood. Yeah, you might not even, you don't do things outwardly anymore, blood. Now you want to chill, eat ice cream, and watch TV, blood. You don't want to be troubled. I'm talking about not just girlfriend and boyfriend. I'm talking about marriages now, because marriages often reach that plateau where there's now a rhythm in their routine, and the routine is boring and mundane. So yes, I go to work, I come back, I kick off my shoes, but I sit down, I watch the telly, my food's prepared for me, I say love you wife, boom, go to bed blood, wake up next day, same thing, Groundhog Day basically in all your life blood. And that's what happens in marriages and in boyfriend and girlfriend relationships blood. It gets to a point where you're plateauing, and when you plateau, it's time for you now to start doing something different, like maybe going out. But going out not just to eat, but going out maybe to do some activities and hobbies which you may like. I'm going to give another point underneath this one, which is, blood, apart from obviously doing activities that you both can like, there should also be a time where you create, there should also be a time where you become spontaneous. That you are not waiting around, blood, for it to happen, but you just get up and do. Like, babe, let's go Paris. Chick, let's go Paris. Yeah, let's just do it, man. You know, you remember the things that he or she has said in the past, blood. Be spontaneous about it. Oh, not just, maybe not even going somewhere, buying a gift. Babe, I've always wanted a Michael Kors watch. You know, if you can afford it, I'm just giving an example. Then one day, but out of the blue, not because you're guilty, not because you've been forced to, but out of the blue, you go to the shop, you're thinking, that's from a blessed babe. Let me just give her the Michael Kors watch, or bless my husband with a Michael Kors watch, and bring it to him, blood. And it's like, wow, why did you do that for? No, babe, I was just thinking about you. It was on my mind, and I thought, no, I need to appreciate you. Listen, the person will appreciate that thought because it's come out the blue, and it's come not as a result of guilt or anniversary or a birthday, but something that is inclined to bring a present, blood, but it's out of season. And so it's like, rah, like, you've got an extra mile to do that. So think about these things, blood. These are important things. I hope you're listing these down, okay? This wisdom ain't free, y'all. Yeah, it's free, bro, still. But, so your actions and your words also can be spontaneous, but we spoke about sex. Listen, you may want to just, you know, be freaky deaky in that you come home, you want to be freaky deaky, but it changes things around. I'm just being real. I'm not saying you should go out there and fornicate, but what I'm saying is, you're already there, some of you. I'm just giving you relationship advice so that, listen, your relationships can flourish. So, you may need to switch it up. Marriages especially, I'm talking about, but switch it up. Yo, don't let things go stale, blood, especially in the bedroom area, because, blood, people will step out, blood, because they're not satisfied, blood. Because we're human beings, and we've got to a stage in our generation where people are stepping out for any kind of thing. So, let's not give them reason to, blood. So you can be spontaneous in your actions, you can be spontaneous in your gifts, you can get spontaneous actually in your words. So, like, you know what? Sometimes some people don't even like saying, I love you, babe. Listen, just look at it in the eye and be like, you know what, babe, I just love you. I don't know why, I just want to say I love you. Switch it up, man. One day, just say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but do you know what? Your hair. Hey, you've done something different. It looks nice. I like the way you've done it. See, there's a genuine, there has to be a genuine tone in there to show the person that, you know what, as you're being spontaneous, it's like, yo, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like the tone, switch it up, because the person will receive it. You see, it's all about the whole thing, actually, in a sense, is about communication. The whole thing bases around communication. Your relationship will get broken by communication. See, when you're about to break out of a jail, right, they have a lot of communication that goes on, blood. They will have secret codes and signals that they have, blood. A part of also, look, if you really want to, oh, that's a defensive move. Let me just put it, that's a defensive move. But, you know, you've got to have some communication between you two, blood. There's got to be a development. The way you talked in 2009 should be the way you talk in 2015. You should be having that development in how you talk. There should be a growing in your relationship. Otherwise, people will come into, I told you about being stale. I can tap into your relationship when you are stale, because there's no movement going on. The same defenses you had before are the same. I can watch it, monitor, and say, well, that's where the weak point is, that's where the weak point is. There's no revolving or evolving of your defenses. Therefore, blood, I can come and break your defense because I've studied your game hard. I've studied your relationship hard, so I can tap in, blood. And this is what happens. People tap into people's relationships, blood, and they don't realize. You're probably thinking, this is not a big problem. It is a big problem, because a lot of people, even if they're not cheating, they will leave a relationship and jump into a new one quickly because they've already been started talking to another person. Jailbreaking from early. You ain't understand. You understand? Alright. Communication as an offensive weapon. It's like in football. you can pass the ball, and you can use it in defensive mode, or you can use it in an offensive mode. So when you have the ball, you can pass it to make a decisive through ball to your striker to score a goal. Or you can do a Barcelona, which is ticka football, but hold the football at the back and play possession football. Yeah, that's a defensive move. People don't often see that, but it's a defensive move. You keeping the ball and retaining possession so that the opponent can't touch the ball. They will get tired trying to chase after that ball. They will get tired coming to try and chase after your relationship because you're so good at ball retention. You're so good at retaining Bay's attention and mind and heart and soul. Do you see me? Because of the way you're going about things. So again, let me just reiterate. So offensive moves are sex. Bro, make sure it's revolving. Yeah? Start going out again. Start doing different things. Have similar hobbies that you want to even get involved in together. Together is the word, blood. Hobbies you want to get together in, right? Start being spontaneous in your events, in your actions, in your words, blood. In the gifts that you also provide. Be spontaneous, blood. And then communication, blood. Pass a through ball, blood. Sometimes just have a conversation. Say to that, babe, listen, I want to stand up. I want to stay up late and just talk to you. And they were confused, like, what? But I'm more so, this is more of a blow for men actually towards women than women towards men. I mean, you say to your man, listen, I want to step and talk, he's going to get tired and be like. So, this is more of a talk from men towards women. And I'm being real because a lot of women now start cheat, but a lot of men are failing to adhere to their male role, and it's causing a lot of distress in relationships now. So, an offensive move is communication. You might just want to tell your woman, listen, I just want to step late. Let's talk to you. Like, tell me what's going on with work. Like, take a genuine interest, blood. Because when you start talking, and she's going to talk. I'm telling you, she will talk and talk and talk and tell you. And then once she told you everything, blood, she feels now relieved. You see, it's that kind of thing. You don't be a taker, not be a giver, blood. If you're always talking and she ain't, and you're also talking and she has to receive, blood, it's not a balanced relationship. You understand? Again, imbalance in a relationship in terms of who does what, in terms of like say, clean up the whole house, blood. You imbalance it by her having cleaned the whole house up, blood. You got 5 bedrooms and she cleans the whole bedroom, blood. No maid, nothing. Just clean up the whole house, blood. You come back, you expect a food month, blood. You've got a maid rather than a wife and she goes to work too, blood. You're gonna have a problem. You see me? Don't let there be an imbalance, blood. Because once there's an imbalance, then someone else can step in again. But let's flip it now to our defensive moves. Our defensive moves. Defensive is basically your shield that strengthens your relationship. It's things that actually develop your relationship in such a way that the defense barriers are built up. You see, defense barriers are lowered when someone feels underappreciated. So, making a woman feel underappreciated, the barriers of her will be lowered down. But if you make her feel appreciated, it's little small things, but you build up her confidence in you again, and you build up the barriers that someone else can try and jailbreak your relationship. Alright? So you got the first one, which is doing something that you both like. I linked that to that one, but it's doing something you both like. Finding that common hobby or interest and doing it together. As a defensive and attacking me, right? I thought to say it. But bring those two together so that you can have some commonality when you get home. You can talk. If you're struggling to talk, then you may need to do a hobby. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you're struggling to talk, then there needs to be something that is a mutual interest that will get you both speaking. And there has to be a mutual interest. I hope there is. Because if there isn't a mutual interest, then why did you get together in the first place? You've made a mistake, blood. Just letting you know. So you need to find a mutual interest immediately, blood. As a defensive move. To make someone feel secure, spend more time with them physically. See, when we get into relationships, blood, we get complacent, blood. And then we say, oh, because when you first want to get with that person, blood, you were up late. Charlie, you would ring that person at the most of inconvenient times to yourself. You'd pick up their call at the most inconvenient times to yourself. You would spend time thinking of them. You know what I'm saying? You'd want to go and visit them at the most. It doesn't benefit you to go and see them, but at this time, maybe your pocket wasn't very blessed at that time. You know, maybe you don't have enough time. You have essays to do, maybe assignments to turn in. You know what I mean? Maybe your work is on piling up on top of you, and you didn't have that ability to do that, but you did it because you wanted it so badly. Get back to that place where you desire the person. Do you know what I'm saying? No one's expecting you to get back to the absolute beginning because that's puppy love and that's a honeymoon phase. But we're saying have that desire, that burning to want to know that person that you love and that you're in a relationship with yet again. But physically spend time with them. Physical presence is so important. You on the phone is good, but blood, in the physical presence, if you can help it, get in the physical presence. Because blood, a hug cannot be matched, blood. You can't match a hug, blood. That physical contact cannot be matched, blood. Do you understand? You sitting down watching TV with me is not the same as you sitting behind on your phone saying, I'm watching a film at the same time you're watching it, blood, which we sometimes do. It's not the same. It's not the same at all. You want to start letting that person into your deep thoughts and mind. So sometimes you've got to let that person know, this is my fears, you know. This is my doubts. Babe, I don't feel I'm going to make it, you know. Because at that moment, she's sent to, remember, a woman's meant to be a comforter, blood. She's meant to be a helpmate. That was the original purpose in the Bible, Adam and Eve. So, blood, when you mention, listen, babe, I'm not really sure, you know. Like, I feel like, you know, sometimes, you know, like I'm struggling with certain things that we do. I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, blood. I fear this, I fear that, I doubt this, blood. Let me tell you something, when you say them real words and those real thoughts, the way the woman will pick you up, blood. Because that is how she's made, to pick you up, blood. She will pick you up indeed, blood. But you got to allow her to do that, blood. You got to allow her to be able to pick you up, blood. Because that's what she's made to do. When you take that from her, blood, she's inadequate, blood. You know what I'm saying? She's ill-equipped, blood. She can't do anything else. That's what she's made to do. To pick you up. And I'm saying that's her only job, but I'm saying, blood, she's made in that way that she has that yearning in her, blood. When she sees her man down, she wants to help him. Do you understand? So, be real with her. When you be real with her and you say you're struggling, blood, let me tell you that she's going to aid you. And your relationship will strengthen because of it. Communication again, defensive, blood. The tika passing, the passing it along the back line. Listen, your communication is key to defending your house, defending your manor, defending your castle, blood, because jailbreakers are always around waiting for opportunity, blood. Sometimes, blood, start speaking on your past good memories, blood. Remind them that this is how it used to be, blood. I love you. Remember how we used to go down this place? And you just start laughing about it. Those are the things that then re-emerge in the person's mind, because these are all things that are locked away deep, and we forget these things sometimes. So sometimes you've got to draw it out of the person, because it's in the experience, but you need to draw it out of that person to remind them, listen, at a time we had a great time, blood. Don't mess it up, blood. Don't go to anyone else, blood. Don't neglect me, blood. Don't leave me alone. Don't not talk to me. Blood, remember the good times that we had. Social media. Some of you, I think your boyfriend or girlfriend needs to tell you to come off it, blood. Because you're two different people in life, blood. On real life, you're this way. But in social media, you've become this Dom Perignon. This Dom Perignon, blood. And you've changed. On social media, you've completely changed. Your Twitter's mad ting. Your Facebook mad ting. YouTube mad ting. You know? MySpace people, mad ting. Mad things all over. If I talk to my girl or you talk to your boy enough, let me tell you something, man. When you talk to them enough, social media will be too much of a distraction. That's not saying they won't be on Twitter or be on Facebook or be on any of the sites, but it's to say, start engaging them. Once you start engaging them, they will lessen their influences and try to stick around you. But it's important that you start to obviously have conversation with that person so they know that you are a person who cares, and then you can advise not to become a social media like. Sometimes just take an interest in what the person likes. Person likes reading, pick up a book, discuss with them. Person likes football, you don't like football, cool. But still buy a t-shirt, still buy a football shirt, still help. Still find a way to be interested in what they're interested in. Sometimes you can't be an expert, but be interested in what they're interested in. They're interested in football. Buy them a football jersey, buy a Shia football jersey, and just converse on that. Because as a jailbreaker, I'm going to make sure that I have conversations with that individual whom they may not have those conversations with their partner, which is a mad thing. So it's in time to start obviously taking an interest in what the other person likes. Be selfless rather than selfish. And start to sacrifice yourself for this other person. Start to give up some certain things for this person. Alright? Listen, this is Jailbreak episode 3 of the little book. See ya. You're done.